My name is Majegs, and I scour the game space looking for titles that fit into the schedules of lives of busy people. So bust out your card protectors and get ready to climb, because today we're talking about Slay the Spire. Now right off the bat, this game is perfect for you weary souls who are wary of drawn-out narratives. There's a spire, and you want to slay it. I know not why, and neither do you. The fact of the matter is you hate this tower and you are going to kill it, the tower itself. But in order to slay this spire, this tower of sorts, you're gonna have to ascend through many floors, fight many bad guys, make many choices, and buy many things from this suspicious and kind of freaky little merchant, and generally look out for your own well-being. You do this by constructing a deck of cards on the fly that contain various methods of causing pain to those foolish enough to stand in your way. Combine the deck building with roguelike elements, and you've got yourself a nice, enjoyable, simple-to-play experience that will have you feeling like the most powerful individual in the universe, even if you've only played for a half hour. Or at least you'll die trying. Now I'll be frank for all the game developers out there, complexity does not generally pair well with busy people. Simple game design often leads to intuitive game mechanics, which is essential in games for busy people. For those with packed schedules, it's hard to learn those games, it's hard to learn things. The complexity leads to steeper learning curves and a drop off in intuitivity. Intuitivity? That's what I'm going with. On the flip side, when a game gets too simple, it gets stale really quickly. Slay the Spire dodges my learning curve critique by maintaining a simple core gameplay loop while also avoiding my too simple staleness issue by peppering that core loop with simple but meaningful tweaks. On your turn, you play cards from your hand. Attack, defend, buff yourself, debuff an enemy, all standard stuff. And if that were it, it'd be nothing more than a glorified game of rock, paper, scissors. But the game is kept fresh and variety is brought forward through different playable characters with their own unique playstyles, like this robot guy that can call lightning down like Thor himself. A monstrous menagerie of different manimals to face off against, like these weird shapes with legs. A plethora of potions to quaff, like this one that puts 3 shivs in my hand, so don't be a fool. And a horde of relics that all modify the gameplay experience, like this one that's a little house, or this one that's a snake's eye that just randomizes the cost of all the cards in your hand. So despite the simplicity of play cards and turn, Slay the Spire is constantly forcing you to make meaningful choices that can tweak the outcome of your run. It's easy to pick up, but it never gets stale, making it an awesome choice for busy people. So imagine this. You've come home from a long day of work, of studying. Your kids have just gone to bed, you just finished mowing the lawn, you've got anywhere from 20 minutes to an hour of uninterrupted time. Well, guess what? That whole range is acceptable for Slay the Spire. You can hop in, start a new game, and get through a whole floor in the span of 20 minutes. Heck, you can complete an entire run in just under an hour. My first win was 3 attempts in and took me all of 50 minutes, which was spread out through multiple days, because guess what? The game knows that you might have to save and exit, and when you do, you can pick the game up right where you left off. Partnered with the lack of narrative complexity, all of the lore is communicated through cryptic choices and atmospheric ambiance. This is a recipe for a game that you can just sit down and enjoy. And as a final bonus, if you're just darn tired after a long day, don't even fret about doing any math. If you've been buffed or debuffed, the game takes care of showing you all the math you need to know and how it impacts your stats. It's not a huge deal, but it's a nice little quality of life detail. I'll be honest, I've been sleeping on Slay the Spire. I love roguelikes, but it just never really scratched the itch for me. Then I was scouring games to do a new video about, and it came highly recommended from a ton of my friends who are like, oh, Ian, you gotta do Slay the Spire, everybody loves it, so good, it's a good game for busy people. So I decided to give it another attempt, and something about it just clicked this time around. Being able to hop on for just a short amount of time but still get through a few rooms in a floor or even an entire floor in itself is remarkably satisfying. But what really shines through is that the game does an excellent job making you feel smart. I'm not that good at finding cheesy combos or broken builds, and I don't like scouring the internet for the perfect metas or min-maxed builds. But Slay the Spire is so well designed that you just can't help but stumble into some primo builds now and again. For example,
allow me to explain.
Wow, is that new guest to the channel, Yami Ian? Incredible.
To start my strategy, I play Creative AI, which will give me a random power card into my hand at the start of every turn. Next, I'll play Electrodynamics so that my lightning will hit all enemies instead of just one. I'll follow it up with Heatsink so that I draw a card anytime I play a power. Playing Heatsinks upgraded one more time means I draw 3 cards every time I play a power. Then I play 4 versions of Static Discharge, which means anytime I take damage, I deal lightning damage back to all enemies. Before my combo even comes together, this enemy destroys itself. To round out my strategy, I play Storm, which allows me to call lightning anytime I play a power card. Now every turn I'm drawing powers, drawing more cards, and calling lightning down. This geometry never stood a chance.
And that's fun. It's just really fun. Slay the Spire is a treat of a game. If you like deck builders and you like roguelikes, you'd be hard-pressed not to like this one. Plus, its lack of narrative complexity, intuitive but deep gameplay, and session ability make it a phenomenal title for busy people. All in all, I'm giving Slay the Spire 5 spirit poops out of 5 spirit poops. Highly recommended.